Clappy clap clap.
Is that the extent of our intellectual?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, this time we're right.
Okay, so
there we go. It's now 10 and a bit o'clock. This will make sense to you later on when we keep saying what time it is. Hi.
Hello. This is the introduction to our SOCPA demonstrations tape, demonstrations we conducted today in and around Parliament Square.
Which is an unofficial world record. As we did complete 25 separate protests at separate locations, all applied for within the provisos of the Act, which is an incredibly horrible piece of legislation, isn't it, Joe? I'll tell you what, we should start again, because you might not know what you're watching. It's just us prattling around, really. For the rest of the video, it's us prattling around with silly signs that look a bit like this.
Making idiots of ourselves.
Trying not to get arrested.
On the front line of a civil liberties battleground, if you want to be pretentious.
Basically, it turns out that if you want to be a free person in any kind of free society, you should be able to, now and again, if you feel like saying something religious or political or ideological, you should be able to say it. And at will. But a bit of law, legislation, it's called this SOCPA thing. 2005. Came in, thank you, wording of the Act, Christoph. Came into force 2 years ago in Britain. This is Britain. We don't have a map of Britain, we assume you know where that is. Around the Parliament Square area, which is like...
outlined by the blue line, if you can see it.
Covers Lambeth Palace, covers MI5, all around Horseferry Road.
It's like our White House capital.
Up to the top, Longford Bridge, and all of Lambeth, basically.
So if you're a tourist
Lambeth Palace,
and you come to London, you're going to come here, and you won't see any protest. You're very unlikely to see any protesters saying anything nasty.
Keeps it nice
or anything edgy, or any kind of gritty reality of any kind. You're not going to see that because of this piece of legislation. And so it's a bit of a draconian bit of legislation. It's very horrible. And that's putting it mildly. For instance, we'll give you some examples. So, for instance, if I was walking down the street on a nice sunny day, perhaps I've been admiring Nelson, notable war hero. I've been admiring his column, and I decide to take a little walk down to the MI5 building to see how the war effort's coming along. And I take a walk down here. It's a sunny day, and as I go past Parliament Square, I think, oh, cool, it's really hot, and I take off my jumper, and my jumper says something like "Give peace a chance." Under the law, as it currently stands, that's unlawful. Unless Joe had applied within 6 days prior to unleashing that jumper onto the eyes of the unwitting public, he could be arrested and put in a cell for the evening for having a politically motivated jumper. This is, quite frankly, bonkers. So we and a lot of other people have been staging all kinds of silly demonstrations to kind of make the point that, look, our demonstration is so silly. Look at it, it's very, very stupid. There's no way in hell that this is threatening the national security or the public order or any of these kind of... Which, incidentally, is a breach of the EU Human Rights Act, Clause 11, which means that you can have any demonstration you want as long as it isn't a threat to public order. And runs contrary to the preamble of the UN Universal Declaration on Human Rights. You can look that up. So... lots of people have been staging these protests that are so unbelievably ridiculous, viz, as you'll see in a minute, us three twats walking around making prats of ourselves. Which is coming, and that's funny, so stick around. Yeah, stick around for that. Also, there's t-shirts in the back there, you can get hold of them. So if you want to demonstrate yourself, we recommend a cork board. Yeah. So you can pin up your banners as you go, fastened by a rather nifty Joe Parker. You'll need a banner caddy. Couple of nails. You'll need a banner caddy. Ours was Chris. Chris, what attributes do you think your banner caddy typically needs?
Nice strong arm.
Nice strong arm. Fine firm biceps.
And a thick head.
To withstand the gale and wind.
Thick head, thick head. You'll need one of these. This is, well, you don't strictly speaking need this according to the legislation, but it's a shoddily made sign, of course. And a nice high visibility jacket to make the police.
Helps you attract yet more attention to yourself.
Yeah. This is. There we go. This is the Waste Police Time-a-thon, which will attract police like moths to a flame and waste their time stopping stupid demonstrations. If a few of you turn up looking vaguely officious, but not official, and perhaps a bit hairy and hippie-ish, wearing one of these things. And it doesn't rain, so all of your lovely stencil work just like, you know, fades away. That might help. But, yeah, what will help is if the night before, instead of checking your facts as to who might or might not be living at the buildings in which you're demonstrating outside, instead of all that fact checking, we recommend you get pissed and spend about 5 hours stenciling SOCPA onto the back of a high vis. But enough of that. You also need some other key bits and bobs you'll need here. You'll need the Serious Organised Crime and Police Act 2005, which is the relevant bit of legislation.
Which is available at yougov.org.
You can get that, or just Google SOCPA. You'll get that. Here we are. There it is. So as it says there, you can probably make out from our rubbish laser. See how my hands tremble. See how they tremble with the sheer force of this legislation.
Stop trembling.
But the important thing to bear in mind is that the entire remit of this law is currently undergoing a consultation period by the government, where anybody in the land who cares to make a point about how rubbish this particular law is can email the government and say, do you know what, government, I really am not too keen on this, or stronger language, we're not trying to influence you, or you think it's very nice. But you know, the point is, there's a consultation process out there. So if you watch our video, you realise what stupid idiots we look like and how this could possibly be illegal is a complete contravention of anyone's basic liberties to live in a free country like England. Send the government an email. You can find the relevant email address to send that to at.
If you Google Home Office SOCPA, SOCPA.
Serious Organised Crime and Police Act.
You'll get that. So this is
email them.
So this is it, and this basically tells us, among other things, it says what constitutes a demonstration, which is any visible or audible signs of political, of a religious, ideological, or political opinion.
It could be a cake with the word in it. It could be a tiny pin badge, a Tory party badge, a CND badge.
Yeah, a CND badge is a good one. It could be a little crucifix displayed there. You know, you might be reading. It covers
a ridiculous amount.
You might be sat having your lunch and reading some Bible verses aloud to yourself, as you do sometimes, and they might be a bit too audible. All of these things, according to this piece of legislation, are illegal. However, there is a way out. They've generously provided for you to do all this stuff, as long as you provide a written notification to the police station
six days
or more days in advance
when you plan to do said activities.
And then they'll send you all kinds of permission forms. We thought. We went ahead and did this, and unfortunately we forgot that the police don't really
know the law in any way.
Well, no.
They were a bit ropey on it.
So instead of a number of big old certificates saying that you have permission to demonstrate, we got an email from them, which looks like this. To be fair to them, it didn't look quite as dog-eared as that to start off with, and the laserjet printing again is a bit wonky. But basically, it says that according to them, we've got permission to do this. So, armed with our Serious Organised Crime and Police Act and our permission to demonstrate, we went ahead and we made a map of everywhere that we were going to demonstrate. Well, I mean, I should say we had the map to start with. But we took our map, we took our board, and we took our high-vis jackets.
And our strong-arm banner cap.
And our strong-arm banners, and we thought, okay, good, now we've got our permissions armed to the teeth with the letter of the law. We'll be able to exercise our lawful right to protest. And so we went off.
And we applied within 6 days of the period consultation required under law to fight the law, and we won.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Here's what happened.